Welcome to the Open Outdoors YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be trying something very new. It's a mix between a hammock, a raised shelter. As you can see, the sun is setting, so we don't have much time to get this sorted out. So I'm interested to get this set up as quickly as possible and sleep in it. So the mission before it gets dark is going to be to set up a shelter. Now I've seen this new type of shelter sort of thing online. It's a raised bed. I've made one of those before, but this raised bed's going to be a little bit different. So I'm very keen to show you what that's going to look like. I'm going to be having a look around for some materials and some suitable trees for the shelter. I'll tell you when I get to that spot. I think I found the one. It's a pretty wide tree, one of the bigger ones out here. It's got an overhanging branch, just like that. What I want my shelter to look like is it's gonna come out here, like a raised bed, and then I'm gonna fasten a rope up. I reckon for this bit, I'm just gonna do a little bit of square lashings. Just gonna start off with our clove hitch. And then we're just going to go around following this pattern. Square lashings are probably used by many of the militaries around the world as a very simple knot for binding two pieces of wood together at a cross angle. Let's make this knot look really beautiful. Make sure that's nice and tight. No slack. No slack. Sweet. 1, 2, cross. Pull that tight. Sweet. The great thing about these square lashings is they're actually really simple to tie. Very simple to learn, and they're also very simple to untie, which is another benefit. So now we just need to tie it together. So we're just going to do our square lashing again. So this here is my bed frame. Now it's pretty much just square lashings all around. One there, there. The next bit is going to be tying a rope around from there, throwing it up into that tree, up there. Okay, I'm just going to go with a very basic knot that I know. And around. Under. I reckon I'll just tie a piece of wood to the top of the rope. Cool. Something I didn't realize is how springy this rope would actually be. It's raised a little bit higher at this end. I think I've got enough here to go around one more time. Yes! Perfect. That's gone right through that branch again. That's exactly what we want. There we go. Got a couple fistfuls of paracord here. The pattern I'm going to be going with is going to be over and then obviously under, and then when I go back to the other side I'm going to be going back over again. So this is the finished product. Hanging from the tree, we've got string going along there. That's the bed bit. So I'm gonna see if it works. Not as strong as we thought. Dang it. There's only one thing to do. We'll need to get a very much thicker log than that one. Unfortunately, the bugs are coming out now and they're starting to bite me. Yeah, we've got a big chunky piece here. Law in New Zealand says that you can't cut down any native bush. So I am having to use dead stuff. So it's a bit of a gamble, eh? Well, the reason they don't let you cut down trees is that there are a lot of species of plants in New Zealand that are endangered. Mainly because there are no predators here in New Zealand, like deer, to eat all of the plants. But when the Europeans came over, there were a lot more pests that got introduced, and they pretty much just took over the country. Okay, done for the second time. Well, this will be interesting. Good? So good? Yes! I got a bit of dinner. Here's the reason for setting up a bed that's elevated off the ground in a forest like this. Is all the creepy crawlies. Because if I take you on a little walk around, we'll probably find a few cobwebs here and there. Pretty big ones too. The water can probably get about ankle deep. But we're not scheduled for any rain, so I think we'll be okay. And the last thing, of course, is just insulation. Because if you're straight on the ground, you're losing more heat to it. But if you're up elevated a bit, like I am now, the air won't suck the heat out of your body as quickly. I just hope that in the night, that branch holds my weight. Because if that snaps, I don't think I'm going to be awake enough when I hit the ground to just quickly roll to the side. I just don't want it to land on my head, because if it hits my head, I'm gonna die. Bad luck if the flag hits the ground. Apparently, COVID-19 began because a Chinese scout accidentally dropped the Chinese flag on the floor when they're doing flag breaks. Believe what you want, right? It's actually somewhat nicer to be back in New Zealand recording here over in the States, the camera batteries would run out so fast. Ridiculous. But over here, they're lasting a long time. Don't think I've really ever demonstrated how I cook stuff before. Not really sure why. I'm not really much of a fancy cooker though. I will admit I eat pretty boring. Just gonna go for a can of beans tonight. I don't require anything fancy. Just a bit of protein and whatever the hell else is in beans. That was pretty fast. I mean, that's already steaming right there. Yeah, those are hot. Yeah, that cooked fast. You know, I'm sitting here thinking that eating only beans is normal. You're probably sitting there thinking it's disgusting. And the truth is, I'm just so used to it. I didn't even think that people would think this is disgusting. And to me, it's not. Should have brought some baked beans, but didn't have any, so just brought some of these. The nice thing about camping alone, you can just eat out of the pan. Nobody's gonna stop you. There are a lot of mosquitoes around here. This place is virtually a swamp for them. And in the winter, there's mosquito larvae everywhere in the water. But right now the water table is pretty low. It's gonna be 1 meter to half a meter underground. Just gonna wash up away from camp. So if any animals come looking for this food, if they smell it, they won't bother me. It's not really much for me to show you guys now. Until it gets dark. This is a good example of a spider web. This isn't actually too far from camp. We definitely do not want the creator of this web climbing into my bed. It is officially dark right now. Whoa, that light is so bright. The hammock is actually pretty comfortable. The rope is a little bit tight around the bottom of my thighs, and I can feel it kind of digging in there, but I think I should be okay with that. Just before I turned the light on, I was just looking at the stars, and I wish that every single one of you guys was here right now, just watching the stars. It's really extraordinary, actually. I can hear crickets, I can hear what sounds like cicadas, but yeah, I could hear a frog as well. It's a little bit cold. Well, actually, I don't think it is. The coldest it's going to get tonight is, what, like 11 degrees? That's fine. The annoying thing is all the mosquitoes. If I have anything to tell you in the night, I think I'll let you guys know. I'm just going to stare at the satellites and the stars going over until I fall asleep. See you in the morning. This is an update coming at 2:52 in the morning. I woke up really sinking into the bed, and it turns out that I'd built up a lot of slack in this paracord overnight, so I've just tightened it all. I'm going to be getting back into bed now, so I'll let you guys know if it snaps, because it feels that it might snap. I don't think it's visible. It's not because my camera's bad, but just above me is the Southern Cross. And the Southern Cross is
what do you call it, a star shape, but it is a big symbol of New Zealand. It is what the 4 stars on our flag are. Yeah, I just remember what it's called. It's called a constellation. There we go. That took me a little while to figure out. Clouds come over in the last 20 minutes or so. Sunrise in about an hour. To be honest with you, I never figured out why you're supposed to do this. In jungles, people always put their boots on sticks. And my guess at first was maybe to stop animals running away with your boots. But my second guess is possibly to stop animals crawling inside of your boots if they're just sitting on the ground. They could also just crawl in through the bottom of your boots. But the night seemed pretty long, but the morning has finally shown up. My bed stayed in one piece. There was that one time where I did have to get up and tighten it. And actually I have sunk back down into my bed again, which is annoying, but otherwise, the bed actually worked pretty well.
Again, for breakfast, I got a can of beans. Last night, decently cold to be honest. I think it dropped down somewhere between like 12 and 11 degrees Celsius. So it wasn't as bad as that one video I did in the US, where it started snowing in a makeshift shelter. That was pretty cold. The bits that I didn't really show. Ooh. Pacing around almost all night. It wasn't that fun, to be honest. Building the shelters are always really fun for me. But when you actually have to sleep in them, no way. Especially in 0 degrees. I should have lit a fire, to be honest. But I can't light a fire here today because it's not fire season yet. Fire season doesn't start until the 31st of May, so that's still 2 months away. Alright. Don't think we got any cloud anymore. I think it was only for about an hour. Oh, that's warm. Oh, that's good. That's really good. That's so good. Yes. There were no possums last night, but I think I also figured out why. And I've actually started doing some pest control in this forest. So there were no possums this time. So I guess they got trapped out here now. To get rid of all these pests. Breakfast done. Good breakfast. Even though it only tasted like one thing. That was strange. Just had a singular Canadian goose fly over. I thought they all left the country by now. Guess I was wrong.
Those are the Peewakawakas, the fantails. They're protected. I think the only reason he's hanging around is because these logs, like Manuka and in this case Kanuka, have got a lot of insects in them because they've got a lot of holes. So I guess he wants to know if anything's going to fall out of the log. Just want to get all the bark off of this branch before I chuck it in the bag, because I've got this axe head, but it needs a handle, so I'm thinking of making the handle out of this piece of Kanuka. I think that's good. Alright. I reckon I'll conclude the video here. It's daytime. It's probably time to start walking out of here. Yeah, so in the end, the shelter, well, I wouldn't even call it a shelter, the bed, the hammock, kind of worked. It was one of the more comfortable nights that I've had, and it wasn't so cold that it was unbearable. The sun's out as well right now, so it's warming up slowly. So I'll be taking this layer off pretty soon. Yeah, I call it a great success. Got to cook up some food, try something new, survive the night. Didn't rain either. That was good, that it didn't rain. I'll see you guys next week, or whenever I post my next video.